All right, welcome everyone to this explainer. I am super thrilled you're here today. We're going to be diving into something that honestly totally flips everything we've been taught about money right on its head. We're looking at this massive conflict between doing everything right in society's eyes, getting good grades, landing a safe job, buying a nice house, versus looking the other way and figuring out how money actually works beneath the surface. Because when we stop blindly following the crowd and actually look a little deeper, we find a completely different reality. Let's get right into it.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the tale of two dads, then move into escaping the rat race. After that, we'll break down assets versus liabilities, explore minding your own business, and wrap it all up with the cash flow quadrant.
Okay, section 1, the tale of two dads. Let's look at two totally different perspectives on wealth.
This whole story kicks off with two completely different father figures. On one side, we've got this highly educated dad whose go-to advice was, play it safe, your house is your greatest asset. But then on the flip side, we have a wealthy mentor who said, learn to manage risk, your house is actually a liability. It's a total 180, right? This stark contrast really hammers home the point that being academically smart does not automatically make you financially literate. We really have to look past the standard, literal metrics of success, like straight A's on a report card, and realize that traditional schooling completely skips over the mechanics of building wealth.
Moving on to Section 2, Escaping the Rat Race. This is all about the emotional trap.
If we really want to figure out why so many incredibly smart, hard-working folks are struggling, we have to pinpoint this invisible trap that keeps them stuck. It's called the rat race. You probably know the vibe. It's that endless loop of waking up, dragging yourself to work, and paying bills. But if you look beneath the surface, it's actually not driven by logic or a basic need to just work. It's driven by two very powerful emotions: fear, specifically the terrifying fear of having no money, and greed, or that burning desire to blow your next paycheck on stuff you just gotta have.
This quote really just hits the nail on the head. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. The crazy thing is, most of us don't even realize our emotions are basically doing the driving for us. Fear literally pushes you out the door to a job you might absolutely despise, and then desire whispers in your ear to go buy that brand new car on credit. To break out of this cycle, you have to start observing your emotions instead of just blindly reacting to them. You gotta step back and actually use your emotions to think, rather than letting your emotions do the thinking for you.
So I really want you to ask yourself right now, and be honest, are you the donkey chasing the carrot? The wealthy dad in our story uses this awesome metaphor to describe folks who mindlessly chase the illusion of wealth. The next paycheck, the shiny new promotion, the fancy toys. It's exactly like a donkey chasing a carrot dangling from a stick. The donkey actually believes it's heading toward a reward, but in reality, it's just pulling somebody else's cart. Are we just chasing literal illusions, or are we actually seeking true financial freedom?
All right, that brings us to Section 3, assets versus liabilities. This is the absolute core rule of wealth.
Okay, pay attention, because this is the absolute climax of this explainer. This is the fundamental redefinition of wealth that literally separates the rich from the middle class. I want you to forget everything a dictionary or some giant, dense accounting textbook tells you. We are stripping away all the fancy jargon. Here is the brutally simple, rock-solid rule of cash flow. An asset puts money in my pocket, a liability takes money out of my pocket. Boom, that is literally it. Think about it. If you lose your job today, an asset is still going to feed you. But a liability, like a massive mortgage or a car bought on credit, that's going to eat you alive.
And man, this visual right here brilliantly illustrates the trap we're talking about. This is exactly what happens when you pay everyone else first. Just trace the flow for a second. The income comes in from your job, but bam, it instantly plummets straight down into the expense column. We're talking taxes, rent, food, debts, all of it, before a single solitary dollar ever makes its way over to the asset column. Your money is just being drained away to enrich the government, the bank, and the guy who owns your company.
You see, it's this financial illiteracy that makes people just blindly follow the herd. Because folks don't look past the literal surface-level numbers to read the actual story those numbers are telling, they just conform to bad habits. They parrot things like, oh, your home is your biggest asset, or just get a safe, secure job, without ever pausing to question if those paths actually make any sense for building real wealth.
Let's pivot to Section 4, minding your own business. It's time to build your asset column.
Now that we can clearly see the trap, let's shift our focus from theory to actual action. And listen, this isn't just about going out and starting a company, it's about building an impenetrable financial fortress. Here is the exact step-by-step formula to get started. Step 1, keep your day job. Seriously, be a hardworking employee. Step 2, build your asset column. Funnel your income here first. Think of literally every single dollar that goes into this column as a tiny employee that works for you 24/7. And step 3, buy luxuries with your asset income. You have got to delay that instant gratification until your assets are the things paying for your toys.
Just look at this contrast. It's wild. The middle class tends to buy luxuries first. You know, the big houses, the boats, the flashy cars, and they do it using their own sweat, their blood, and worst of all, massive amounts of debt, just to look rich on paper. But the wealthy? They do the exact opposite. They buy luxuries last. True wealth is built when your assets, not your own physical labor, are generating the cash to pay for your lifestyle. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the cash flow quadrant. Let's look at how you generate income. This is the final foundational concept that categorizes exactly how different people interact with the whole economy. Notice how it slices up the working world. Over on the left side, we have E for employees and S for self-employed. Then over on the right, we've got B for business owners and I for investors. Escaping the rat race literally means making the crossover from the left side, where you are working for money, over to the right side, where systems and money are actually working for you. So, the most absolutely crucial point here is the staggering number, 90%. 90% of people spend their entire lives working incredibly hard over on that left side of the quadrant, only to eventually rely on government support when they get too old to trade their time for a paycheck. I know, it's a super harsh reality, but it's one we absolutely have to acknowledge if we're going to have any hope of changing our trajectory.
To really grasp the massive shift required here, we have to look past standard, boring job descriptions and think in metaphors. Imagine a village that needs water, okay? Are you out there hauling buckets every single day? Because that's just trading your time and labor for daily survival. That's the left side of the quadrant. Or are you taking the extra time to build a pipeline? Are you creating a system that continuously flows cash directly into your pocket, whether you even roll out of bed to work that day or not? That right there, that is the mindset of the right side of the quadrant.
All right, I want to leave you with one final, deeply provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. At the end of the day, you and only you have the ultimate power to determine your destiny. So I just have to ask, with every single dollar you spend today, are you choosing to be poor, middle class, or rich? If you spend foolishly, you're choosing poverty. If you go out and buy liabilities, well, you're joining the middle class. But if you invest in your mind and acquire true assets, you are actively choosing wealth. The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I really hope this sparks a brand new way of looking beneath the surface of your financial future.